Tim Drake, Robin, issue 7.
First things first, it is not Rosmo on art. It is Sergio Cunha. Sergio Cunha is actually really great. He makes everyone look like an anime character, which is kind of weird. Not like it's a specific kind of anime style. Like it's with the kind of like the sharp angle on the noses, stuff like that. Really, really sharp jaw lines. I'll hate it though. I quite like the way it looks. I think it's a really dramatic shift for this book. The characters are very expressive. They look great. It's so drastic going from Rosmo, the most rounded of artists, right? You know, if you think Rosmo, you think big round heads, big chins that are really round. And this is sharp angles everywhere and significantly more to my taste. However, I still don't like the writing, so it's kind of irrelevant. This issue is actually not really an issue of Robin. It's Bernard's issue. It's all his narration. It's his point of view. The whole deal is they're going out for dinner, and it's got a relatively smart structural thing where the issue is broken up into the different stages of the night, while also correlating to the different stages of a meal. So it's like the first thing you see is a big text that says aperitif, and then it has a little definition, noun, breaks down what an aperitif is, but then obviously that it relates to the introduction of the issue, and then you have the entree, which again is something that Americans do differently to the rest of the world, because to Americans the entree is the starter essentially. To the rest of the world,
appetizers, right? So an entree comes like that's your main meal.
Yeah, the entree is the main course.
Yeah, but they have a different thing for this. It is the in this is the plat principle, which is the main course.
It sounds like the menu and it's making me mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And they had the next section is the salad, and I quote, necessary for any menu, sometimes after the main course to help with digestion, which is different, of course, to the digestif, which is not to help with digestion, because why would it be?
Oh boy.
Yeah. And then there's dessert, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, I used to think entree sounded like more like a starter, just the word.
It does, but I forget the exact term why it's called that still. Yeah,
because it's not really. I don't think it's used
used
as much in the UK. It's definitely something that Americans use more on their menus. Obviously, it's not an American word. I'm not saying that, but
no, but yeah, it does reek of something that was on a French menu one time, and every other restaurant started to take it. So
yeah, but it is the starter, I'm sure, in France.
Is it the starter in France?
I'm sure it's the entree, the entrance.
Yeah,
it's the beginning of the meal.
If anything, an entree also sounds kind of like platter to me, because it sounds like a tray of things. Here, have a selection.
It's on a tray.
It's on a tray. It's the entree.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it is for starters.
It probably is.
Yeah, I'm sure we use it interchangeably with appetizer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on an American menu, entree means the main course.
Yeah, because it's wedged between, the appetizer and the dessert, making it, but still it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think that's Americans doing it wrong.
Of course. Yeah, because entree means introductory.
Yes, entrance.
So,
that's, I assume where entrance comes from in terms of...
Right, I know, I'm just as I'm reading it, how it ended up that way. So
Americans bastardized it like they did everything else with the language.
Well, we are the bastard country, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. You keep talking. I'm going to read this article and we're figure it out.
Yeah, I'm going to order some food because this has made me hungry.
That's all right. I actually think it's a really smart structure for the issue to kind of have it broken down like this. But ultimately, I just think the issue's that entertaining. So they go to dinner, they go to this fancy meal.
Are we on Robin still? Is this what we're on?
Yeah.
Okay. Why are we talking about entrees and starters? I don't even know what we're talking about.
Yeah, they're going for this fancy meal that they've got into because Bruce knows people, obviously, and Tim's kind of a Wayne. But it turns out, by coincidence, Bernard's parents are also there, and he's not spoken to them in like a year properly. I don't know if he's not spoken to them or he's just not like gone out with them anywhere, like not had time with them. But yeah, they're not on speaking terms. And before this, Bernard's like, "Are you sure we should go? Kind of Firefly's on the loose. He's been attacking places lately. This sounds dangerous." And oh, lo and behold, Firefly attacks. He's also working with someone else that causes people to kind of spot out their phobias as if they were real, which leads to Bernard's dad shouting at him that it would be better if he'd never been born. In this very dramatic moment while the restaurant is on fire. So yeah, it's a lot of like this family drama for him. And it's fine. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have development. He's obviously an important side character in this book. But this is the entire issue is just him and his parents, and it's just not that interesting at the end of the day. The most interesting, the most important part of the issue is the end, where it turns out, through his inner narration that we learn that he knows that Tim's Robin. He's just waiting for Tim to tell him. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to wait for him to feel comfortable with telling me. But he's figured it out because I guess Tim's not that good at keeping the secrets, which is not that surprising.
Yeah, hashtag worst Robin.
Look, he's not out there whipping his cowl off for everyone, but
oh, like Barry, you mean?
Yeah, just like Barry.
I'm just saying he's the one Robin who hasn't died.
Like it's a least offensive issue, partially because no Rosmo, partially because it's not doing anything horrific with Tim's character. It's just the two of them out on a date, and then Bernard's family drama, which is just not that interesting. The family drama that is, it's just not that interesting to me. Okay. But yeah, it's not the worst issue. It's still like a 5 probably, and I'm being generous with the art, bringing it up because the art is nice. Even if it's very anime expressive and a drastic shift from what the book was before, it's vastly more to my tastes. Yeah, 5.